welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I am working on day number 3 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, Series 13. This is a fun sketch and it is designed by Susan L. I really love this sketch and it took me a while to find a cut file that I wanted to use in this area, and I ended up having to make my cut file. I haven't cut it yet, or I did and it didn't cut out correctly, so I need to redo it with a different piece of paper. The paper I used was too thick, so I'll have to do that off camera and come back. But I chose some of these pattern papers, and I have a pile of kitty cat photos. This one's not going to get used on this layout, but the rest of them are. This is my Jasper when he was just a little bitty guy. He was like 3 months old in these photos, I think. It's right before he got sick and almost died from his shots, his vaccinations that he got at the vet. Anyway, so I have some Bella Boulevard Chloe papers. Looks like I've got 3 of those. I have a piece of Simple Stories Pet Shop Cat, and I think this is an Echo Park piece. I'm not positive, the branding strip is gone, but I've got these papers and I've got some ephemera and I have my cut file ready to cut out. So I will pause this video and I will be right back after I have made some cuts and we'll get this layout started. See you in a bit. So I'm going to use this text pattern paper for my background, and I finally got my cut file to cut. It took like 3 or 4 sheets of paper before I got it to cut. My Cameo was acting silly, and anyway, I wasted several sheets of black cardstock trying to get it to cut correctly, and I finally got it cut. Now on the right hand side of this sketch, the original sketch has 3 strips, and I cut 3 strips for mine, but when I did a placement off camera to see how things were going to fit, I realized I was going to be covering up that 3rd strip almost completely, so I'm not going to use the third strip. Actually, I will use it in tomorrow's sketch instead, so it's not getting wasted. I did back my cut file with one of the pieces of pattern paper off camera. I used my Cameo to release the compound path and then get just the background of that cut file, and it's just one solid piece. And that is an easy way to back a cut file rather than sitting and hand tracing and cutting all of the individual pieces. I like to do it that way quite often as possible. So I've got all my photos on here. They're varying sizes, just like they are on the sketch. I believe mine are probably a tad bit larger because they are taking up more space than what is shown on her layout, but I felt like this was as small as I could cut them, and you still see what's going on in the photos. I have created a spot for journaling with a tag and a notebook piece of, it's a die cut with a notebook edge. I am adding various ephemera. There's a sleeping kitty cat there and 3 hearts. For the dot above my J and my title, I'm going to use that little black heart ephemera. I'm putting a tab at the top of that left top photo, and I'm adding a couple of more bits and pieces to this layout. This layout goes together really, really fast. I actually spent more time trying to get my Cameo to cut that cut file out than I did on the entire layout. Go figure, right? So for the most part, I'm happy with what I have. Okay, I got this layout complete. Had a little bit of trouble with my Cameo and the cut file in the beginning. I think I ruined 3 pieces of black cardstock trying to get it to behave. I'm not sure what its deal is. I have to deal with that another day, but I added fun foam in places. Actually, they're foam squares. I ended up adding a few more little hearts here and here. Put a ribbon on my tag got my journaling in, and this makes this layout complete. I will have Susan's information in the description box below, along with that playlist that you can click on to see everybody's creations all month long. I really appreciate those of you who take the time to like, comment, and or subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, I would absolutely love to have you subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions about my layout or comments about my layout, just drop them below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I really, really appreciate all of you. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.